Happy New Year, all. Today, I just wanted to talk about just random stuff. My life as a pastor's wife and a mom, and just ramble a little bit. Happy New Year. I was just looking at Table Talk, and something jumped out at me. It says, "Where our habits are, there will be our hearts also." And this year, people, is right now is New Year, and people talking about New Year's resolutions and wanting to eat healthy, wanting to lose weight, wanting to get a new job, wanting more money in the bank. Yeah, we could all use that. But do we consider God, Jesus, the person who created this and everything that we need today? A lot of us don't. But in my life, personally, I want all those things. And as a daughter to the King of all kings, I know I should have it, but majority of us who are daughters and sons of Jesus Christ does not. Majority of us are poor. Majority of us work and live paycheck to paycheck. Majority of us drive decent cars. Some of us don't have a car or rely on public transportation. Out where I live, there is no public transportation. It's Pat and Turner or that bicycle. And things just came to me overnight. I couldn't sleep, tossing and turning. About 4 o'clock, it was storming outside, and it is cold as heck outside right now. But I'm like, why? They say you're never supposed to question God, and I ask, why am I a person that don't have a lot of money in the bank? Why do I live in a double wide on 3 acres of land? Why am I getting food stamps when me and my husband work? And just why? Why? And he says, Keisha, you are blessed. You have a husband that you and your husband both have college degrees now. And you work where I put you right now. I'm preparing the place. It may not even be here on this earth, but you will have peace, joy, love, happiness, and everything if you just listen to me. I know so many people out there are thinking, she's not making sense. But you have to put on your spiritual glasses. You have to look at it through spiritual eyes. People say, well, you married to a white man. Y'all should have a lot of money. Y'all should be in an upscale suburbia type living. Nope. That white dude is poorer than me. Was. We're together. Everything we built was built together and God ordained. That's our son back there. And they say, well, did you marry him for love? Yes. The answer is yes. Does he support you? He supports the things that I do. And like I said, we work together. He works minimally 4 hours a day. A few times a week at Winn-Dixie, 16 hours a week. And I work as a teacher's aide, a lead teacher, technology teacher, making like, I'll say, $15,000 a year. And he makes right at $5,000 a year. And they say, well, how y'all get by? I mean, how y'all own the stuff y'all have? And I say, I got to say that it's the grace of God that has sustained us. Yeah, I had bill collectors calling me. I have payments that have been late. But Lord have always seen us through. The lights never got turned off. The direct TV never got turned off. The telephone never got turned off. This internet has never got turned off. The car that I'm driving, even though it's got 190 something thousand miles on it, never turned off. It might have stalled here and there, but it never turned off. And next week my husband's going through a surgery, and he is petrified of doing it. But he knows that God is going to be with him and with our family. And it is scary to go under the knife because you never know what can happen. But you have to rely on faith in God to know that you're going to come back to your family and that you're going to be healthy and happy again. I'm 35. I'm over 200 pounds. Not all the teeth in my head. I wear glasses, but they're not on now because it's a glare on the light. A mommy of 2 beautiful children, girl and boy. One 16, dating, now driving her. Son that's about to be 11 years old, typical boy. Loves to play basketball, loves to aggravate his sister, loves to get on his Xbox. We're a normal, typical family. We've had a rough patch in life. My husband lost his mom at 18. Him and his brothers had to endure something, without a mom and basically without their fathers. We've recently met my husband's dad in Miami a couple of times, and I think he's a little bit on the wealthy side, but that doesn't matter. We know people and we've been around people that have money, and you know what? They say, girl, you're funny. I feel like I can be myself around you. And that's what, how God works. You may impact people that you're around. You're around them. They don't know what to think of you. I've got an Afro puff right now, when it used to be relaxed. And I wear glasses now. Like I said, I'm over 200 pounds. I'm not going to tell you exactly right now. Missing teeth. You might not see them, but I know they're gone. And a Trump supporter. And I did that with Spiritualized, believe me. So, am I going to get beat up? No. I had people stop talking to me. I had to delete and block and do all that on Facebook when the election was going. But God was always right there. He put people in my path, and I was crossing the paths of people, not coincidentally, but he did that. All walks of life. I've seen people, the poorest of poor. I've seen people seem like they got it all together, but those are people right now crying out for help. They're committing suicide. They're taking that drug. My mind's going in a whole bunch of different ways, but it's just saying that God has you, no matter what. I know people that's close to me that are in homosexual relations, and they want out, but the flesh is really weak. I know people that are fornicating. They're not married and they're living together and have kids, and they want to be serving God the best way they can, so they're trying to work on that. We got 2 weddings to go to this year, and I'm proud of that. That the people making a commitment to stop doing that. I know people that are committing adultery. I know people that hate themselves just for being them. I mean, like I said, I'm a black girl wearing the Afro puff, married to a Hispanic white male who has a criminal record. That's not something that we're proud of, but you know what? When you put in circumstances at an early age to be an adult on your own. Things happen and you have to go out and survive it. It's called being, and then you grow up, and that's called being resilient. Like me, I had a drug dealer as a dad who died when he was 27. I had a mother who was a drug abuser as well as a seller, but she's overcome that. She's in a homosexual lifestyle now, which, she's battling with it, trying to get out of that. But that's something God's gonna do for her. I can't do it. I can just pray for the situation, love on her like I always do, never turn them back. We had a conversation the other day actually about if something would have happened to me. My mom said, I wouldn't know what to do because you were one that never turned your back on me. She said, I don't have, I love all my kids, which is 3 of us. And I don't have a favorite, but you just stood by me and never turned your back on me. And, I was happy inside that she realizes that, but sad at the same time because, like I told her, Jesus does the same thing. Because she said, I'm just not ready to step in nobody's church. I want to go to him right. And I'm just like, you can never go right. I mean, when I was out there, when things was happening in my life at teenagehood, when she got into that homosexual relationship, I was buck wilding like no other. I was out there drinking. I was out there partying. I ain't never do hard drugs, but I don't even know how I managed to finish high school at Buchholz. Shout out to class of 99. Chrissy Metz, was in there. And I just didn't know how I did it, but I know it was the grace of God who seen me through that. He got me connected with this man that I'm married with now. We've been together since 1999. At first I wasn't sure about it. I wasn't even sure that he was the father of our first child, but he is. And, just like people were like, well, Melvin, why you stay with that girl? She was a hoe, she was this, she was that. And he had an unconditional love back then that I didn't know now that I appreciate. And I'm like Steve Harvey. When I seen that Steve Harvey thing, the way he talked about his wife on the stage, some people might have said, oh, that's scripted. No, I feel that was real deal, and that he has an unconditional love and appreciation for his mate. And I have the same thing for my husband. So when he goes to that surgery next week, I don't even know how I'm gonna be feeling about it, but I'm gonna have faith and know he's gonna come back to us because he's a great asset to our home. He always get discouraged about his past. He wants to start up a ministry, and he said, well, God forgives, but people don't. And I say, you're right about that. People don't. I mean, he said, here I am, 38 years old, working minimally. I get the lowest pay in the meat department. Everybody making $10, $12 an hour, getting 40 hours a week. Here I am getting 16, and I'm making like $867. Not even $150 a week. But those checks help us because I work. I work with the school board. I work 9 months out the year, and sometimes we out of gas. But you know what? God still sustains us. I mean, we go to the beach. We don't do movies much. They're too expensive. But we do the dollar movies. What else we do? Just spend time with our family. All the time. They say all the time, you and Melvin and the kids always together. That's right, because when you love someone, you commit to them, you're going to always be together. I don't need a reality show to tell me. I just need a platform where I can help people like myself appreciate life and what they have and what God has given them. I don't care if you're on food stamps. I don't care if you're on welfare. I don't care if you get Medicaid. Just know that God is taking care of you. In the Bible it says, where people ask, well, he said, don't worry. And he's telling them the birds have a place. The foxes have dens. You don't need to worry where you're going to lay your head, because he's going to provide all of that. I guess that's what my message is today. Is, I'm asking, well, why do I work at this school, with underprivileged children for this minimal pay? And I have staff around, staff and coworkers around me that are going through the same things. In the summertime, these people are receiving food stamps. These people are receiving Medicaid. They work every day though, hard, and love the kids. A lot of them are single mothers, and fathers. A lot of them are married. A lot of them are Christian. A lot of them do other walks of life. And I crossed these people's path about 5 years ago, and I'm glad that I did. 5 years before that, I used to work at this state mental hospital, and that's how I got back into church, because my supervisor used to always preach the word to me, and I was like, man, I don't want to hear that. This lady's crazy, but that lady was a fanatic for Jesus, and I thank her for that. She know who I'm talking about in this video. Big ups to Deborah. But anyway, now I'm on fire, and I just thank God that he provided the stability in my life, even though when I was out there buck wilding, drinking, having a good time, clubbing. He was right there. He could have came back anytime, and you know what I would have been? I'd have been hell bound without Jesus Christ. My husband, if he wouldn't have got saved, been hell bound without Jesus Christ, because he done did some stuff, and that's his testimony. I'm not even going into his testimony, but it's powerful. If you ever need somebody to speak at your church about being down and out, that's the man to go to. He has a Facebook page, Melvin Carver, and has pastors and parentheses or whatever, and check him out. I mean, he's powerful. I mean, we don't have much, we do everything together, but God is sustaining us. This is a new year. He's going to do new things for us this year. He's going to rise us up. I mean, I'm not going to be out there wearing a size 10 again. No, Lord knows I want to. I'm not going to all of a sudden get a mansion. I'm not going to all of a sudden get teeth like Nene Leakes or something. But I'm going to be sustained because I'm resilient. I have education. I have a family. And I have Jesus most of all. He gave this to me like Ike Turner said, I made you in. Yeah, Jesus Christ made me. He made Keisha, this girl right here. I've been to several different churches, and usually I'm the only black in there. But that's all right. Because when I come out of there, people smiling, shaking my hand, I'm like, where are you all my life? Where have you been? You're so real, you're so down to earth. Your family is just so beautiful. But God orchestrates everything. I'm going to tell you, he orchestrates all of these things for us. We might not know when, where, how we're going to get our next meal, where we're going to get the money to pay our bills at. But he's sustaining us. He's going to make sure we have that. He's going to make sure that when we go to the surgery room, that those surgeons know exactly what they're doing. He's going to make sure when we even hit that pipe next, if you're smoking crack, that you can get off it tomorrow with him and his help only. He's going to know if you're obese on my 600-pound life, you eat that next burger and it could kill you. If you ask him to get you out of that situation and really mean it, that you are going to overcome that. It's so many people that live on the streets, and people say, well, why don't people bums? And, I don't understand that. But sometimes they choose it, sometimes not. We're a nanny state, we're America, and we take care of all of them. Even they can get food stamps. Even they can go when it's cold out like it is tonight and get shelter. You got churches giving them blankets, socks, hats, everything. God will provide. I don't care if you're sleeping under the bridge in a cardboard box. He's going to provide you some kind of way to have blanket and shelter. You under that bridge, aren't you? So why don't you crawl over that bridge, get on your knees, fall on your face, and ask Jesus Christ to come into your heart today. This is New Year's, new beginnings. It's got the 1 and the 7. In the 7, I can't do 7 on there, but it's got the 1 and it's got the 7. 1 means new beginnings, and 7 means completion. So I'm putting those together, and I'm coining that phrase right now, today, in front of my computer. Coining the phrase, New Year, new beginnings. Somebody already did that. But that 1 and that 7, and tell you that he's going to sustain you when you ask him to come into your life. Stop worrying about who driving this, who got that, what clothes I'm putting on today, what handbag I'm putting on today. And that goes for myself, because I do like my handbags. But I know if I'm working a minimally wage job, which I'm blessed to have, thank you, Lord. If my husband doing the same thing, if I'm driving a car that get me from point A to point B, I'm going to be happy this year. I'm not going to complain. And if I do, I need to taste something bitter or something. But we need to be happy. We need to be resilient. We need to work for it. And this house is educated folks who's just trying to make it, who's not asking nobody for a dime, who's not going out humming and bumming, doing GoFundMe, excuse me. You know, even though that's a good thing, who's just living. We don't live in suburbia. We live in a very rural area, who still see color. We live in a rural area that the politics are crazy out here, that people can seem like they're getting away with murder out here because they uncle on the jury, and they uncle in the school board, and they auntie run this and they cousin run that. But they're not getting away with it here. They just lying to themselves. God is going to sustain us this year. He's going to continue to. He's going to use us in a way that he's never used us before. Who knows? I might be the next Wendy Williams. Williams was my maiden name. But anyway, I want you to think about that before you pick up that next beer bottle. I want you to think about that before you smoke that next blunt. I want you to think about that before you lay in the bed with that man or woman that you're not married to. I want you to think about that before you do anything that is not like God, that he can come back at any moment. Again, he can come back at any moment, and where will your eternal salvation be? Will you be in paradise with him like the thief was? Or will you be in hell with Satan? You got to make the choice. He's going to sustain you in all your decisions. In Romans 1, he says he turned you over to yourself. When you live in your sin, he loves you so much that he will let you go. He loves you so much that he will keep his arms wide open so you can come in. He loves you so much that he will sustain you. And that is, God has a way of doing things. Sustaining was the message for today, this evening at 6:30. January 7th, 2017. 1717. How ironic.